Holy Week is really fascinating because it's Jesus at his most strategic in many ways. You see him saying and doing some things that are driving to his death.
There's the save Jesus team, kill Jesus team, and Jesus seems to be on the kill Jesus team.
You see the followers of Jesus all throughout this week going, why?
Was that necessary?
Isn't there a better way of doing it?
What's Jesus's plan?
And they can't yet.
Yeah, everyone's playing checkers, he's playing 4D chess.
It is fascinating to see Jesus not just counteracting the moves that others are making and the things that they're saying, but to a level that no one can understand.
No one but him and God actually knows what his agenda is. Everyone else is left trying to deal with their perception of what he's doing.
By whose authority do you do this?
My own!
Heresy has no authority here!
But what's Jesus's plan? He's making enemies out of what could have been allies and angering the authorities.
The people are really hanging on Jesus' every word. And that's very threatening to the religious leaders who not only need to get people's affections back on them, but they also think that they can show Jesus to be a fraud. And so they bring all these bad faith arguments.
We have questions.
You want to put me to the test?
Yeah, it's ultimately an empty exercise because he's not afraid of them and he doesn't need to prove himself, but he doesn't even need to do it. It's just kind of like, well, I can.
But before I answer, I will ask you one question. It's a trap.
It's kind of funny because he flips it back on them and does not really answer them.
How can we be the chosen people of the one true God and yet pay taxes?
So what? This is God's world. The Romans just live in it. Therefore, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's.
Jesus at times will say, well, now that I'm here, that's no longer a thing. Or now that I'm here, I'm changing what it is that you should be about. You can't combat that.
You see him saying and doing things that are so brilliant that the disciples are affirmed in their defense of him and their belief that he's the Messiah, while at the same time,
You are sons of those who murdered the prophet. Follow in the footsteps of your ancestors.
do what your ancestors did. How does that make sense?
He is going to, in fact, invite them to do what they were going to do all along.
He's inviting them to kill him.
He's telling them to kill him.
Which he literally is. You don't want to feel used following down the wrong track or any of those things. We think he's making mistakes. This is not the way to do it.
And so some of these things, he's almost like laying breadcrumbs. Eventually you will look back on this and it will all make sense to you, but now it can't. This is something that if we read it in scripture with no context, we might not fully understand, but the apostles almost assuredly would have.
And they react with fear, heartbreak, paranoia, concern.
And every decision he's making and almost everything he's saying seems to counteract that. And yet they still believe in him, so they're just so confused.
Jesus is expressing clearly.
You should be prepared for hostility and persecution. But ultimately, your protection will come from above.
Almost like there's nothing to do about it. And yet,
And if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one.
so what is he supposed to do?
It seems like that there is almost an instruction,
Where I'm going, you cannot follow me now.
but John also got an instruction to stay close and never leave.
Things will change. But stay close to me as they do.
He's reassuring them, but they don't understand what the reassurance is because they really don't know where he's going. They're listening to what he's saying, but they're not hearing it, you know? And it's scary.
It's unsettling because you know what Jesus is thinking and what he knows is going to happen to his best friends.
I will lay down my life for you. Will you lay down your life for me?
Because it's easy to say, like, yeah, I would, for sure, right? Here in the moment. But they don't even know what's to come. They don't know how bad it's gonna get.
I guess he needs to do that. And he needs bad press, basically. He needs the Pharisees to get super mad at him. He needs Judas to betray him.
Judas, we do not have to stay anymore. What you are going to do it quickly.
You know, one could say he's the master and commander of what's happening. Recognizing that Jesus is playing 4D chess, he's operating in a dimension that no one else is. But I would argue that in many ways the Father is the one playing the 4D chess, because even Jesus the Son, he says,
But not my will, but yours be done.
Which by definition is saying, if it was up to me, I might do it differently than you, Father, but I don't want to. I want to only do your will. He is living out an example of how we are to live. So it's a very, very fascinating thing to explore, is Jesus is playing 4D chess, but in many ways, his human form is one of the pieces in this game of chess. Now, of course, we're using reductive human language to describe something that is incomprehensible to us, and we have to have a little bit of empathy as viewers to consider the position that they were in, the piece that they were playing on the chessboard in this story of ultimate salvation. Hey there, I'm Dallas. I'm the creator of The Chosen, and I'm on our set here in Italy. Now, I don't know where you are, but you are watching one of our videos. And if you have just a quick moment, you could hit that subscribe button or that notification bell if you haven't yet. You could hit the like button. You could make a comment. All of those things help get our videos out to more people and make sure that you're notified every time we have something new. See you soon.